as much as I like the idea of walking around, I don't like the idea of it looking a lot like memories. So the audience will like see it and think, memory. That's a memory, not Limbo. But if you have Limbo is a very white. If you use a white room, something that's like you can see that is a certain setting.
So he'd be in the same room the whole way through?
Yeah, it would just be like, instead of like a bright coloured room, we take away all of this. It would just be a mattress with a bed sheet on it, no covers or duvets. It would be like, it would literally just be a white room, like just with a desk. Trisha's house.
I mean, yeah,
You can literally just take.
You would just have to avoid filming the TV, because I don't think I could take the TV down.
You just take off all of the personal items.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Walking around, say you're going past a brick wall. The brick wall is quite colourful, and it will probably look like.
So kind of like my idea of them just sitting on the bed, and then the camera like goes round. The camera moves, the person doesn't move, but they're still in Limbo.
Yeah, they're in the room, like Sarah said about walk. Okay, so your idea, what do you want from Limbo, Arnold?
I see it as exactly how his surroundings are exactly as they would be, just without anyone else, to emphasise the loneliness of what he's going through then. So then he can go to these memories, and then we can do the transition shots. And I think if we do the transition shots like we've seen, we'll be able to show clearly which shot's Limbo and which one's the real one.
So the lack of people basically emphasises the fact that he is on the verge of death.
I'm thinking colder colours as well.
Yeah, so blues and
whites.
Greys and whites. Well, white's kind of too bright.
Yeah.
For Limbo, it'd be pretty decent. And then for the memories, it'd be
a lot brighter.
Like
more colourful.
Orangey, pinky stuff.
So
and then,
outside
you know, the reflection of the camera, like in the short film we watched, where it like has little circles. That is, and then a soft focus.
Yeah.
See, I would find that really hard to do, because not only are we going to have shots of him on the road, but in the memories shots, he will be alone anyway. So how would the audience be able to do
No, in the memories he'd be with
people, but there will be times when he is alone.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be able to tell
by the
mostly
filter.
by the character, I'd say, because if he's got a bland face in this Limbo area, and then he goes to his memory.
That depends on how good our actor is.
It depends on the script, really. It depends on what we tell the actor to do.
Like, when he's in Limbo, does he
easier?
say anything at all?
I'd recommend
I'd say no.
But
As well, yeah.
I would still like some audio in Limbo. Maybe like the memory starts off well.
Yeah, and
like
it starts off just as just before the transition goes.
Exactly.
See, I would find that maybe Limbo would be a lot easier, like in a white room, in a room that is completely blind.
How would you access all of the memories by that?
Well, because, like, for instance, there would be a white desk. He'd open the drawer, there'd be a picture or a piece of a memory that he associates them with at night, and that he associates.
So everything in the room.
Yeah, there's things in the room that he associates with memories. But not only that, but as Sarah said about the idea of having him actually waiting to see if he's going to heaven or hell because of the fact.
That'd be quite good, though.
Because
but if we were going to do that, I think the idea of not having any furniture or anything like that,
we'd need furniture.
I think it would be better if there is furniture, but then because you know the end shot, there's someone with him crying and mourning over him. She suddenly appears, and that would be kind of like a twist.
Yeah.
So then the room is exactly the same. Otherwise, you'd think he's in a different room.
Yeah.
It'd be, yeah. You may think, oh yeah, it's in the same room, but now there's furniture. But I feel like if it's the exact same room,
but
and then
I feel like the furniture.
Are we taking away the idea of him dying in a car crash now? It's just an illness.
I just want it to be dead.
It doesn't matter how he died.
I want it to be unexplained.
But then I feel like if we have it so the room is like, for instance, the bed. If you're talking about the bed would be with no duvets or covers or blankets. It'd be white sheets and
Yeah, I
maybe
get
white
that.
and then when he's like going into the bed and laying down, or if he does that, then we'd put sheets over him, and that would indicate that he is dying, because with the girl next to him, because it would be different. That's him
That's
going
true.
from the bed to Limbo.
Yeah, but I
So
do
the
think
ending is
the
the start.
room should have furniture.
So-
I get the no sheets thing.
Yeah.
That
The
would be
idea-
pretty cool, but
Yeah, so the idea of like, so the idea of having, I like the idea of having the end as the beginning. So he wakes up and he's laying in this bland bed, and then he goes back into the bed, but he's actually, when he opens his eyes, he's in this nice duvet bed with all these colours, and he's got the girl crying, and then he dies, and then that's when he closes his eyes. That would actually be him entering Limbo. So the ending is
Yeah.
the beginning. Yeah,
How would we make that make sense to the audience? Like, what would we?
we'd have to use the props around us.
Okay. So how would it start off? Because we initially
So
said
he would. It
from
would
the eyes. Are we using that anymore?
I presume it would start off with the idea of him, like, literally his eyes, him opening his eyes, and he's in limbo. So he's laying in this bed that has nothing but a duvet and not a duvet, just sheets and a thing, and it's completely. The room has no feel to it. And then he walks around, picks up a memory, goes to the memory, and it does that back and forth until he's back in limbo, and he goes and lays down in the bed. He closes his eyes, opens them again. Or he could close his eyes, keep them closed, and then we kind of move the shot
So
so
you
that
pan
he's...
out, you like kind of like zoom out from his eyes being shut, and he's
Yeah.
laying there in the proper
Yeah,
sheets
so-
and everything, with the girl next to him in
Yeah.
his room in the way it initially would be.
Yeah,
Right, I get that, but what about the transitions? We could use a photo one. We can use
yeah.
a walking past
We could
one.
have him picking up something and then it changing.
yeah.
So like from his hand, and then the shot around changes when you
Or
lift
he
up
drops
the camera.
something, or he drops something
Because I can see
purposely.
it like he picks up a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I don't know what a piece of paper is yet. Maybe it's like results or something. Maybe that
A love
that
letter,
memory's a bit
whatever.
myth. But
Yeah.
it could be a really low angle shot, and then he moves the thing so it goes past the shot, and then
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
I get
So
what
like
you mean.
he'll pick it up. It'll be a low shot. This sheet will go across the
Across
screen,
the camera, and then it will
And then
cut
it will-
it,
he'll
and that will
have
be
it.
the transition to him
having
opening
it
his
in the mem-
results in
But
Exactly.
with his
Also,
mates in his room.
I'd like to talk about the idea what Sir said with him he's actually waiting for
Death.
heaven or hell. Like he's like that could actually be it.
But the audience
Limbo
don't
could be
find
a
out.
test actually to see if he's worthy for heaven.
Kind
He's
of
not
like
for hell.
kind of like in Divergent when she's in the test
Yeah.
thing, and then she wakes
So, you
up.
know,
So okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like he tries to open the door, it doesn't open.
Maybe
Oh,
right
so
at the end the door
confusion.
opens, and then
Someone.
no, maybe he just the door opens and he walks
And it could
out,
be
and
kind
then
of-
it goes into the
it
shot
kind
where
of-
he's dead.
Yeah.
At the end,
Yeah.
I was thinking that could be the last shot, because you know how you're trying your poster plan is to be kind of like Memento and
Well,
that.
have you seen this one?
Like, where he walks through the door and it like blurs out and fades to black, and that'd be the end.
Yeah, so it would be this idea of him walking out of this door, and no one knows where he's going. He
Yeah.
doesn't know if he's going to hell or
know if
heaven.
he's
You
going
just
to
know
hell or
he's
Yeah.
you just know he's walking. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But
so
I think
how would we transition that from his, like I like the shot of panning out of his eyes being shut
Yeah,
and being
then
in that
a
room.
So it could
So-
be that he's
maybe the bed's here. And
Yeah.
the door's like to the left. So the bed's in the middle of the room, door's to the left. The camera pans to the door so the bed's out of sight. He walks out, the door closes, and when the door closes, we've transitioned so it pans back in, and he's on the bed
With
with the girl,
With the
and he's
girl,
dead. And it
and he's
zooms in
dead.
to his eyes, and they're
You
closed.
leave it to upturn.
that's a good idea.
So it is a shot where he walks out of the room, closes the door, it pans back again, and he's in bed. And this is not limbo anymore because he's out of limbo.
He's
finished.
He's finished. So,
and the audience have no clue where he's gone, heaven or hell.
but now you know
or-
he's dead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so the aura of mystery that we wanted is still there because you don't know where he's going.
You don't know why he's there.
You don't know why he's dying, and there's no further comment on what happens.
Yeah, you don't know if he's.
Remember, the main focus is the memories. So
Yeah.
the content in the middle of all of this has to be heavily on the memories.
On the memories.
So we
the
need
memories
to-
including friends,
family,
girlfriend,
Moments in his life
himself.
that define him.
Yeah, so like the stuff in the room could be pictures. It could be like a concert ticket.
I like
And
the idea
awards
of.
that he got in a competition. That he
Yeah,
won.
I like the idea of him getting his results because that's a defining moment.
It relates to teenagers as well, which
Yeah.
is our target audience.
Maybe he wins a race, and
Maybe-
he picks up the trophy, and then it's a close up of his face, and then it like comes out, and he's in this ready position, ready to run.
That is, yeah.
As soon as he crosses that finish line, comes back into the limbo world,
Yeah.
so that you don't see him
we
get
don't
the
always-
trophy, but you
yeah,
know
we
he
don't
won.
always have to have transitions that go between limbo
Exactly.
and the memories. They
can
could
just
just
have
be
cuts.
cuts.
The idea of jump cuts, yeah.
Jump cuts, yeah, in limbo instead of in the actual memory, because
Yeah.
in the actual memory it would seem unrealistic.
Also, in maybe Limbo, we could have him say something. I mean, it can be quiet. It could be really quiet. It could be just you could hear his footsteps because it's so empty.
I like the idea of having not much sound, but like
There is
like a
when the
soundtrack
sound
that
is there,
it's faded, like you know,
Yeah.
one of those really, like, how it's really typical for there to be like the muffled voices and stuff like that.
Because I think if he picks up this memory, you'll hear the audio first, and then it goes into the video.
Yeah.
So like the text thing, like I said, you hear her, and then it goes into it.
I like that text idea. We can still do that as well because it's just his
Yeah, we
phone.
could still do it. Because then he could look at it,
How
and then he could
many?
hear the voice, look up, and then he's on the park bench.
Yeah. How many memories are we planning to have? Like 5 or
That's
6?
what we need to plan in
we
the
need
storyboard.
to because we need to basically do a whole life. We need to figure out what he's going to do in his whole life. So we're going to have to just decide what in a human's life is worth remembering.
Not in chronological order.
Yeah, it can be
have to be.
him child, him an adult, him and teenage. It can literally just be as much as you want.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like proper memories, like him graduating. It could be him, I don't know, first goal he ever did in the football. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I think we're finished.